Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Golf Business Live, powered by Supreme Golf. I'm your host, Michael Williams, and I'm coming to you not from my typical studio back in the Washington, D.C. area. I am here at the actual HQ, the home slice, the mothership of the National Golf Course Owners Association here on Daniel Island, just outside Charleston, South Carolina. It is a beautiful city. It is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful office populated by beautiful people, and I couldn't be more excited. Again, if you haven't been to the National Golf Course Owners Association headquarters, you haven't visited Charleston, South Carolina, as my good friend Ferris Bueller used to say, if you have the means, I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful place. And again, this is the place where it all happens, all the magic that makes this association what it is. From the staff side, of course, it's you, the members, that make it special for real. We got a great show here for you today, and we're going to start with our Inside Golf Business guest. This is an international game played all over the world, virtually in any country. I always should say in any country where you have grass, you're going to have golf, but I've been playing on snow, so that's not even a prerequisite. You can play golf just about anywhere. People love the game, but people love to be good at the game, and it's hard to be really good at it. It takes practice, it takes coaching, and that's a nut that's continually being attempted to be cracked in this industry and by golfers. Someone who knows a lot about that is our next guest. He's come up with a really interesting software package that allows people to get better and people to teach better. But more of him, less of me. Please welcome to the show the CEO of Orbis Golf Limited, Mr. Rob Spurrier. Rob, good day, sir. And
good day.
Golf Business
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me.
I always feel that the British accent always raises the level of the conversation, no matter what we're talking about. Okay, we could be talking about breakfast cereal, but it sounds smarter when you do it with your accent.
Well, that's good news for me then.
Yeah, you're classing up the joint, okay, in the local parlance. Thank you so much for joining us. And you are in the UK at this point, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I split my time actually between the US and the UK, but currently back in the UK, trying to enjoy a bit of a British summer. Not that we've had a very good one, but yeah, back in the UK at the moment.
Outstanding. Well, I just wanted to dive right in and get to know more about Orbis Golf, but starting with the context of teaching. Now, I understand that you are a PGA professional of Great Britain, correct?
Correct.
Jurisdiction?
Correct.
PGA of Great Britain. So obviously experienced as a teacher. What, in your mind, is the greatest challenge of getting someone from zero to airborne, as in being able to get a ball into the air, to getting a ball to go where they want it with some level of predictability?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I think my experience has been started out, I guess, as a more of a golf coach side of the business and really working with loads and loads of beginner golfers and juniors. So I think as a coach, you learn the hard way, right? How to get a golfer to fall in love with the game and get them away quickly. So I think the biggest thing for me is just make it fun, because actually if you take the pressure away and you make it super fun, and key things for me are get the ball in the air, just, help them find a way to get the ball up in the air, just get them to sort of see a little bit of what the love of the game can bring them, and then quickly introduce them to other people, because all of our research shows that actually getting new players to play together and meet people is really key. They stay, in the game for much longer then.
Yes, making those relationships as well as learning the game. That's actually a key part, having a sort of a partner who's on the same arc as you with the game. I found the same thing. It's really good to have that person. And when you're talking about Orbis, so from your experience as a coach, talk to me about how that experience translates itself into Orbis and this product that you have.
Yeah, so we started out, we founded the company about 10 years ago, and one of our products is a software product called GLF Connect. And essentially my vision with it was I really wanted some way, I really believe passionately about connecting the coach with the student, and really being able to cement that in-person relationship. I believe strongly the in-person relationship's really key, but actually supporting it with some software and tools that help the pro and then help, the golfer as well. So that's what we really, the start of it all set about really. I used to, before it was in a software sort of package, I used to do this with notes, where I used to have, my folders. People would come for golf lessons. I'd take notes and give them drills and give them a takeaway, to go and practice. But of course, luckily as tech has got better, as we've moved on, transferring that into a software application on an app and so forth has been really key. So that was the initial vision, is that connection between what the coach is saying and then how the student can, develop and learn the skills that they need to.
Yeah. And when you talk about that student engagement, there's a sense, again, if you come to a lesson, I don't know, the typical frequency is about once a week. That's what it used to be. It's still that. Yes. About once a week, people come for lessons, maybe twice.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. Certainly when they're at the start and they're super keen and interested, for sure.
Yes, exactly. And then you get some people who want to come every day and that sort of thing. But many thoughts. How does Orbis help maximize that time during the lesson, and then also make the time of practice that much more valuable and effective?
Sure. So I think what we've really done is we've looked at almost the role of the pro. So we actually focus very little on the technical aspect of helping pros. We kind of, we trust in a way that they know, the way to coach and to teach. But what we're really trying to support them with is the structure. So from actually, making sure that they get the lesson booked in an online scheduling platform, that the session is paid for upfront, and all of the kind of the business end of it is taken care of with email confirmations and that kind of thing. And then what we're really doing we're saying, okay, basically within a lesson, we want to make sure, really encourage, and this doesn't happen anywhere near as much as it should do, is to encourage pros to take notes, to capture media, to really make sure that they are capturing really good drills, solid information that they can then give to that golfer before they've even left the session. So they don't need to do this in the evening. They can do it right in the app, whether they're doing a voiceover or whether they're typing it in and capturing things. But really key for me for engagement is that I would like, as a student, to go away and then really see, hey, what have I got to work on? How have I been progressing? What does my pro, think to my progress? How am I doing? So within a lesson, that's really, really key. And one just additional thing that we do, which I think has been really game changing for us, is we've started to build out curriculum in the app. So we have basically what we call My Game Plus, and that basically enables a player to track the progress that they are on. So if it's, say, a new golfer, for example, we can do some benchmarking and some skills kind of challenges, and then those are marked off in the app, and then both the coach and the student get to see that throughout the journey. And mapping out that journey has been really, really powerful.
Interesting. And so let's take it from brass tacks and use me as an example. Say if I'm just starting the game, and like during the COVID period and after, the number of new golfers coming to the game is exploding. And I think we had Dr. Joe Bettis, CEO of the National Golf Foundation, and he pointed out that only 25% of new golfers get a lesson from a professional. So the first thing is to get people to actually take a lesson, especially guys, I find out, who don't want instructions on the road to where they're going or to where their golf game is going. They'd rather figure it out for themselves. So getting people to the game. Let's talk. Let's see. I'm one of those new players who's come to the game, and you're my coach. How are we both interfacing with Orbis? Is this on an app on my phone? Is it on your computer or your phone? Talk about how the software interfaces with the two people involved in this relationship.
Yeah, no, exactly as you've described, actually. Yeah, so we have a web-based system and apps as well. So we have an iOS app on Apple and an Android app as well. And so, yeah, we basically have the kind of the software we would like to see sort of sits a little bit in the background of the lesson, because I'm an advocate for making sure that you're giving your time, very much in the lesson to the student and engaging. But basically, as you're carrying out the lesson, you're capturing some videos, you're capturing notes. If you are doing any of the benchmarking I mentioned, then you can do that together, and it's quite interactive. So you can see, hey, look, this is the challenge we're going to be doing, and then you can see, and maybe at that point, either on an iPad or on a phone, you can show them and share that information. And I think the key thing is, at the end of the lesson, we're big advocates of making sure we rebook. So a lot of the tools within the software are all around engaging the student, but are also lots of tools for the coach to actually run their business and their book well. So things like rebooking and making sure that that's rebooked. So going through the app, showing the student, hey, let's get you in the schedule. Let's show you actually how you can change the booking if you need to. Here's how you access your notes and media and things like that. So it's I like to keep it quite fluid and interactive, but all done within the lesson. One of the things I'm really, I think it's important to make sure we're doing as pros is finish the lesson, and all of the information for that lesson has been posted and is done. And when I started out, I used to, go back in the evening and then type up lots of notes and send them and send messages or emails. I think, we really need to make sure that this is sent within the session, which, helps, from a time efficiency point of view, but also I think the students love it because they're immediately fresh. They're excited about just being at the lesson, and then they can see straight away, wow, here's my drills and the things I've got to work on and practice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that tangible advancement is what keeps people going. That's absolutely true. So you can liken this relationship with a golf pro and the player to a doctor-patient relationship. That's one of the analogies that's used very often. So let's say your first golf instructor is let's call him the general practitioner, and you decide that I need to see a specialist, and you want to go to like a short game guy or something like that. Does the information for me as a player belong to me? Am I able to take my swings and my information and have another instructor come in and look at it and get a feel for where I am and what I am?
Yeah, for sure. We do that. One of the things that at the moment we mainly focus on is we provide this to a club or we work with Invited as an example, a big, owner operator, or we'll work with individual clubs and academies. So within our main focus so far with the product has been within the confines of that academy. So, but for sure, if there's a second coach within that academy that maybe specializes more in short game or something, then absolutely. But at the moment, what we don't do is we're not kind of consumer facing only app where they can, go to different places and have their information there. It's linked to their club.
And as we close, I just want to ask, there's so many products that are out there, and this one sounds like a terrific one, and we'll get some contact information from you. What's the one thing, if you could name a feature that you've built into Orbis that you felt golf professionals and or owner operators were clamoring for but didn't see in another product, and you said, we definitely have to have this and we'll have an advantage? Is there one thing that you can point to that says, yeah, this sets us apart?
Yeah, for sure. So this probably goes down a bit more of the sort of the owner operator side, which links to the coach, but is something that we call active member management or active customer management, depending on the type of facility. And so what we've found is that our kind of passion is putting the pro at the heart of the business. And we think they're the most powerful person in the business if they align to the goals and the business objectives of the club. So we have a really neat feature within the software that basically captures and measures the value of the PGA Pro. And that's the bit that I think sets us apart. So yes, we have loads of the tools that help with the video analysis and the booking scheduling and all of that kind of the practical tools. But that, I think, is what sets us apart, our insight in and the ability to measure the impact that the PGA professional is having on their set of students, their members, their customers, and they can show that value to the club. And then the club can say, wow, this is awesome. You are delivering, X number of dollars, you're delivering X number of member experience, those kinds of things. So that's hopefully what sets us apart.
I think it goes a long way towards setting you apart. And you did a wonderful job of explaining that and the software. For people to get a little bit more information about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
Yeah, so actually at the moment we're going through a classic sort of little rebrand. So I think the best place to get hold of me is either on LinkedIn. Actually, we just search up either Orbis Golf or Rob Spurrier on LinkedIn. All my details are on there. I share and post quite a bit of information and some different articles and interests. So it's probably the best place to find me, and anyone can direct message me on there, and I'll get straight back to them.
That sounds magnificent. Well, personally, I prefer to come over and see you at your offices over in the UK. It's been too long. So if I have my druthers, I'll see you in your office. But having said that, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk to us and our audience about this. And please do come back again. We'd love to have you.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Terrific. As Rob Spurrier, CEO of Orbis Golf, when you have so many new players coming into the game, I remember during the Golf 2020 conferences that were held some 20 years ago, talking about the future of the game and why people play the game and stick into it. Of course, nobody predicted that a deadly pandemic would bring more players to the game, but one of the statistics that was very widely known was that people stay in the game longer and enjoy it more when they play better. So having a quality experience for your new players, having that system be effective for your teaching professionals is really key. And it sounds like Orbis is going a long way towards providing that again for both sides of that relationship. So we're going to take a quick break here at the mothership. I'm going to go right behind me to the refrigerator to get a beverage and a crunchy snack. You should do the same wherever you are, and we'll be right back with House Chat. So we'll be right back. We'll see you soon. Golf Business Live from NGCOA headquarters in Charleston, South Carolina. Michael Williams. See you soon.
Supreme Golf is proud to be an executive partner of the NGCOA. And whether you're looking to drive recurring revenue with our market-leading public membership software or sell additional tee times on Barstool Golf Time and Supreme Golf at no cost and where you control the data and the pricing, please reach out.
Welcome back to Golf Business Live, sponsored by Supreme Golf. Your host, Michael Williams, again, coming to you from our home base here at the mothership, NGCOA in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm so pleased and proud to be doing this show for the first time from here. And God willing, the creek don't rise, it'll be the first of many. So our house chat today is about something that is one of those tasks that's absolutely necessary and can be absolutely boring until you don't get it right. And of course, talking about HR and payroll. These are the things that make sure that our people are well counted and well accounted for. The systems out there are numerous, ranging from Feather Quill and a big ledger book to the very newest technologies that are cloud-based and that sort of thing. I don't know much about it, but we do have someone who does. Please welcome our guest. She is, and I love this title, the Human Capital Management Account Executive for Paylocity. Please welcome Lauren Dudding. Lauren, welcome to Golf Business Live. How are you?
Thanks, Michael. I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. And I love human capital management exec. I like that. That's
Yes.
like you said, special parking space, right?
Exactly, right up front.
Beautiful.
I wish.
Well, we're going to dive like really deeply into the world of HR and payroll and that sort of thing, and certainly about Paylocity. But a little bit about you. Where are you from? How did you get into golf, and how did you get into Paylocity?
Yes, great question. So I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas, born and raised, and I played basketball in college at the University of Missouri in Kansas City, and then worked at ADP for a little bit. I got my degree in finance and eventually transitioned down to the Charleston market to actually start the market for Paylocity. And I've now been with Paylocity for the last 7.5 years. And just from my connections and the people I know in the Charleston market connected me to Jay and to the NGCOA, and we brought it to our team here at Paylocity, and that's how I became the preferred partner for the NGCOA, and it's just been a really great partnership thus far.
I'll second that motion. It has been a great partnership so far. And with Paylocity, a little bit about the company, its history, and all that you do. So I think you have a lot of things that you do. Give us sort of the 30-second elevator pitch about Paylocity.
So we are a true technology company. We're the fastest growing company in the industry right now. We help companies with attracting and retaining talent, to streamlining and automating processes, to also helping organizations build culture and connection. We have a very modern platform and a very modern experience, not only for the employees, but also for the owner operators, the course operators, and their administrative team as well.
Outstanding. And when we talk about HR and payroll, I sort of in leads alluded to the fact that it's not the most exciting thing in the world to talk about, but gosh, if you don't get it right, it gets exciting real fast, right? So when we talk about HR and payroll, one of the things we talk about now is it being cloud-based. Now, that's something I hear all the time. What does that mean exactly, and what does it mean to the golf course operator? What's the real advantage of having something cloud-based as opposed to the other ways people have been doing it up until now?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So, back in the day, it was the old, icon on the computer that you had to click and dial up. And then it's obviously transitioned to the cloud, which allows for organizations and course owner operators to be able to have access to our system anywhere at any time. And from a Paylocity perspective, we do everything with a mobile first approach. So managers, supervisors, employees also have access to not only their pay stubs, but to maybe a job requisition from their phone, or training courses from their phone, or performance reviews, expense reports, social collaboration tools right at their fingertips. So really being able, like I said, to drive that culture and connection across the organization while streamlining processes, making sure that employees are paid correctly, but having access to that anywhere at any time has been extremely beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere, anytime, and you use the last word, which time is a part of, and time is something that golf course operators have just too little of, to quote the song. How do you quantify for a customer how much time they're spending on the HR and payroll function, and how Paylocity can help save them time?
Certainly. So our system is a single database solution. So we help companies, like I said earlier, from attracting and retaining talent to offboarding an employee, and everything really in between from that employee life cycle. So a company could have, a handful of employees, or they could have up to a couple thousand employees, and the needs for those different course operators or owner operators could be vastly different. But Paylocity's solution brings everything together. It streamlines those processes from the open architecture that we have, meaning we're able to get data from when payroll's processed back into the accounting system, like Club Essential or Jonas. Those are two very popular accounting systems in the golf industry. And we can also streamline benefit administrative data, 401k information. So all of those data points that somebody actually has to physically touch and move, our system's able to automate that and streamline those processes. So mistakes aren't being made. Everybody's human, right? You might miskey something, but our system's able to automate those processes by leveraging the technology. And then, like I said, everything is single database, and it's a single life cycle for that employee.
So it sounds like not only are you saving time, you're saving money as well, which some consider to be synonyms, time and money.
That is great.
Yeah,
Absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you have. You don't necessarily have to name any names if you don't want to. But are there any case studies that stand out for you in particular of someone who was doing something one way, started to use Paylocity, and it made a world of difference in how they were doing things?
We do actually. In fact, Steve Foster with Northstone Country Club just recently wrote a recommendation letter for Paylocity, and we were able to save Northstone $50,000 by leveraging our technology, automating processes from what was a manual process, and he's slowly added, additional products and services that we offer to his product suite to be able to help the organization grow, and also, like I said, streamline processes for them.
My goodness. And I make sure I heard that right. $50,000.
$50,000. Yes. I'll share this. I'll share the article that he wrote with all of you.
Outstanding. I mean, that, I'm sure it pays for a large part of what you're doing. It's almost like getting something for free. That's a huge number. So when we talk about your relationship to NGCOA, I mean, you talked about how you were introduced to Jay Karen here at NGCOA. What's that relationship been like for you in order to sort of jumpstart and turbocharge your ability to contact owner operators and really get to help them quicker, faster, better?
So the partnership with the NGCOA and working with Jay and Mike, it's been fantastic. And like every partnership, it takes time. And so being at the MCOR event just last month, like that was a fantastic event. And so from a partnership perspective, Mike has been instrumental in being able to introduce me to different golf courses and allow us to be able to build upon that partnership to let more owner operators know about the services Paylocity provides. So I think being at the MCOR event as well, that certainly helped kind of jumpstart even more of the partnership and allowing us to work with additional courses and be a part of that conference. We really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding. I mean, I think all the partners have had much the same experience as you have. The ability of this team to connect them with the business is sort of second to none in the industry. It's a very, very effective tool for doing that. Just to get a little bit down to the nitty gritty for those people who are sort of HR nerds, raise your hand if you're out there. HR and payroll, I consider payroll to be a part of HR, and some people consider HR to be a part of another thing. How do you guys sort of separate it out? Do you help owner operators separate those things out into different categories and get them really focused on here are HR functions, here are payroll functions, and I guess apply specific systems that will allow them to do those things more efficiently?
Great question. So yes, so whenever I'm going through a process with, an HR professional or a CFO or even, a course operator, I'm going through a specific set of questions. So I understand their business, I understand their needs to then be able to present our solution. Like I said earlier, every organization is different. Might be in the same industry, but every organization is different. Every organization has different needs. And so it's my job to be able to help understand what their needs are to then be able to present our solution to them. So Paylocity, of course, we process payroll. We do that well. We pay employees, we file your taxes, but it's the HR component that we also do. And that's a very big differentiator for us in the industry. We have even specific tools that are unique to Paylocity, like some of our social collaboration tools that we have. Again, we are a technology company, so we develop our own software. We're not, going out and acquiring a bunch of companies and bolting it onto our solution. So everything's seamless across the product suite. And again, a company might need, recruiting and onboarding, but maybe another company just needs electronic onboarding and payroll processing and some of the other products and services, that we offer. So, again, we pay employees, but you also don't have to use Paylocity's payroll solution as well. We also offer the HR side, and that can also be standalone if an organization just needs some HR services.
Well, it's really encouraging because you're right. There is no one size fits all, especially in this market where you have single course operators to multi-course owner operators who are national, even international in scope. You have to be ready to customize, tailor to their particular needs. And it sounds like you're ready to do that. I guess for my last question, I know having been in golf course operations, there are certain times where you can do things and certain times where you can't because you're just on that 100 days march and trying to get through the summer and get through the season. For this particular system and the things that you do at Paylocity, is there a best time to start the process and to begin to get it integrated, or can you really work it so that even in the middle of a season, a busy season, you could start the process and actually implement it on the fly?
100%. Yes. So in fact, I'm working with quite a few of the golf courses, right now, and we're in process of implementing our services. So we do a lot of the heavy lifting whenever it comes to implementation, and we're extracting data from current systems. We're loading the demographic information into the system, current year-to-date information. So again, employees will get one W-2 because we're balancing that down to the penny as well. We're taking the liability moving forward. So organizations can switch any time of the year. It's something that we do every single day. And also by working with me and the NGCOA, I have my own dedicated implementation team, which is some of the best of the best at Paylocity.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear. I'm sure people who are in the business and know that they need a solution are looking for the place like that double Dutch rope, to jump in, the good timing, because you certainly don't want to fall and have that stuff wrapping around your neck. Look, it's been a fascinating conversation to me, and I think a useful conversation to everybody else. For more information, where do people go to take a look at what Paylocity is and does?
So on the Smart Buy page through the NGCOA, they can go to that to find my contact information. And there's actually a survey link that goes directly to me. And then they can also reach out to me as well directly. And I'm happy to provide that contact information.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate what you've done here today and what you're doing in general, Paylocity. And when you have something new to talk about, you always have a soapbox to stand on and a microphone to speak into right here at GBL.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Michael. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. It's Lauren Dudding from Paylocity. Again, the HR and payroll is one of those things that, you may not want to get into. It doesn't seem like it's much fun, but believe me, when people aren't getting onboarded correctly, if their benefits aren't being taken care of, if they're not getting paid on time, you are going to hear about it. So you definitely want to get that thing right. And Paylocity is a group that can help you do that. Unfortunately, it's crazy. We're at the end of the show. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks to the great team here at NGCOA. If you've never had a chance to come down to Charleston, South Carolina, it's a great reason / excuse to do so is to come visit these offices and these magnificent people who make this organization work for you. It's an amazing team. Thank you especially to Harry the Wizard and Taylor the Wonder Wall for making this show possible in particular. And of course, again, thank you for watching. That's it for this episode. We'll be back with another one as soon as possible. In the meantime, go out, hit some balls, and when you do, hit them straight. Golf Business Live, I'm Michael Williams. We'll see you later.